Okay, so this is a 4 hour chart and it's sort of a bit of a ITC concept trade that I've just back tested. So all credibility goes to ITC mentorship, but basically start off here and we've had a change of character and then drop down into this supply zone here, which is created after this bullish order block candle causes this bearish trend, which breaks these three structure points here. So 1, 2, 3 broken. It also breaks this one, but this is sort of kind of an equal low with this, so I've only drawn in these 3 points here. So that creates our supply on the 4 hour, strong 4 hour supply. So once we get down to this low here, price continues on a bearish trend, sort of making lower high and then lower low, lower high, lower low. We then have this bullish trend, forms an OB by this big break of structure here, which we have. So we have that form, obviously, which is somewhere to look for in the future once price retraces to it. We then have this sort of bullish consolidation here, which is all just building liquidity. As so, we then have an equal high form here. So equal high, which is, as we know, liquidity. Price then drops down, creates this fair value gap here, and this is where we start to have our analysis kick in. So this is a high low, we've formed a fair value gap and price has dropped, kept the trend bullish still. We've then had a retracement to fill this fair value gap here, and price has pushed away again, made a new low, come back up into the fair value gap, fully filled it, and this is why we have our symbol here. This symbol identifies an intermittent term high. So this basically means that this high is going to be broken soon in this bullish market structure shift model. So we then have the fair value gap created by the retracement to fill the bearish fair value gap. We mark out this fair value gap, which is here. So we have the open point of the fair value gap, and then we have the closing point of it here. So that's our fair value gap. We then have our trade set at the open of the fair value gap, stop loss just below, so 40 pip stop loss, quite big, and a 145 pip TP. You could have had your target at this level here if you were targeting buy side liquidity, but I've extended my target to the open of this strong 4 hour supply zone created by these 3 breaks of structure, because I know price needs to mitigate this order block because of how much bearish momentum was built from it. It has to mitigate it at some point, and as you can see, price obviously just came down, tapped into our, so we're tapped in at this point. We have a little bit of drawdown there, then bullish engulfing, and just like that, TP hit. So that would have been a 28-hour long trade, so just over a day, and you would have hit TP for a 1 to 3.62. But I mean, I like to give myself a bit of room below the fair value gap or order block, whatever I'm trading off for, like spread and slippage, but you could have had your stop loss tighter and made it on to 4, but I like the extra safety net there. And as you can see, this move broke the weekly high and the previous daily high, so yeah, very strong. But I hope you like this and gives you an idea of the sort of concept. And yeah, just a quick one for you all, but like and subscribe and comment anything you want me to do or go over, and I'm gonna keep putting out the content for you and providing a bit of free value. Okay, so this is second part of this. So what I wanted to do was this. So this is my back testing, but live for you now. So what I would see here, right, is I see we've fully filled this supply. So order block breaks 3 structure points, 1, 2, 3. So this strong supply here across to here, prices retraced, prices mitigated it. So what I'd do is, now prices filled it, we drop down to the 1 hour chart. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. So we're going to play forward a bit. So I'd be looking for, just watching price now. Okay, right, so there. Okay, I would see this here as our change of character. Okay, because we've had a little dip below here, so we've broken it, made a new low, and now we've broken down. Okay, and then we've got here, we have our break of structure, or we might not have had it yet, but we'll put it there and we'll just play one. Yeah, so that would be a valid break of structure because we had a close below. I didn't know if this candle might have wicked up and closed below, but the next candle breaks it. So that's our break of structure. So what we can do now is we can identify this right here as a valid order block to trade from. Okay, so this is our valid order block right there that we can trade from. So then my strategy is to sell from the open of a supply order block and buy from the open of a demand order block. My stop loss would be just here above the actual full supply, because although no, I don't know what that is. So yeah, so that would be our sell point, and then our target would be the imbalance open. So there, so that would be our trade that we'd be looking at, and then this would be a point for me where I would move stops to break even and look for partials potentially. So let's see what happens. So we're not tagged in yet, but that's a good sign, because for me all this is here is liquidity building up below our order block. So it hasn't actually been tagged or mitigated yet, so that's a good sign. So we're not tagged, right, so there we're tagged. We're tagged in here. Okay, so the order block's been fully mitigated at this point. Now we're still trading around the entry, right, that's a good sign. Bullish engulfing, claiming the structure, so that's a breaker structure to the downside, which is in our favor because that's the direction we're trading. So the next structure point we'd be looking to break would be this one here. That's the structure point we're looking to break. Okay, so we've broken that now. So this is a break of structure, another favourable one. And again, if you really wanted to, and you were looking for compounded entries, you could mark this as another valid supply, because you've had your change of character / break of structure here, and then price has continued, so formed an order block and then broke structure. So now we've broken this structure to the downside as such. So again, this is a very valid supply, and it's within the overall 4 hour supply. Remember, we're still in the hourly time frame here, so we're targeting the fair value gap fill, because this point here will fill the free value gap, which is why we have our take profit there. Still dropping, which is a good sign. Okay, so we're getting a bit of consolidation now. Formed a little micro high, bit choppy again, another break of structure here. So this is all still in our favour, because we're holding our structure towards the downside, which is obviously our direction. So we've broke structure, we've come back up, we've formed a little high within our trade, a lower high. So we've had break of structure, lower low, lower high, lower low. So again, same pattern, break of structure, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So this is all in our favour, and we've broken structure again here. So it's a break of structure again, lower high, equal low. So here you'd see that we're still in the trade. Price has broken out to the upside there by breaking that. Broken out to the upside, but then it's come straight back down and broke structure to the downside again. Oh, there we go. And that would be us tagged out for a 1 to 5.71 trade. So that's a little live forward / back test for you in a way, because we're back testing. So for you there, that is, so this trade will be the trade that was in the first part of the video, and this is the second part, the live trade. So basically I'll do a quick little conclusion for you. So you've got a 4 hour supply order block here, which caused this bearish leg of price action, which broke these 3 points of structure and claimed all of this bullish liquidity that was built up here from the push up, which then led price back into this 4 hour supply order block, which is where we then dropped to the hourly time frame. Once we were on the hourly, we were looking for price to mitigate the order block, which was done here. We then saw price broke below this point and then broke down below that point, which caused our change of character. We then came up, formed equal highs here. So we didn't actually go bullish because we never broke this high. So we didn't go bullish, change of character. So then we came down, we broke this structural low here after the change of character, which then led us to have this candle here as our order block candle for the supply within the 4 hour supply. So this is an hourly supply order block within the 4 hour supply order block. Price, we then look for our trade at the open of the order block. Stop loss could have gone just above this order block, but as I've mentioned many times, I like the safety, so I have the stop loss above the 4-hour order block. Then price had a bit of a choppy beginning for a few hours at the entry, and then we formed this low here which looked like a gap, so possibly a weekend here, and then we broke structure to the downside, which is a good sign, formed another supply order block which wasn't ever mitigated, so price will come back and mitigate that at some point in the future. We then break structure to the downside again, form this lower low after breaking this structure, which was the lower high, the higher low for this push, so we broke that, made a lower low. This is our lower high. We then had a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. We then had a higher low here and a higher high, higher low, higher high, but then price broke structure to the downside, made a new low. We then had a lower high and followed by a lower low, which was our TP and our fair value gap fill. So that is the trade and the analysis behind it and the live trade. So yeah, that would have caught you a 5.71 risk to reward. So I hope you like that, and I hope you make some sense out of it. And yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and remember, please like and subscribe, it's always appreciated. Trying to get the free content out there as often as I can for you guys. So yeah, hope you enjoyed and have a good day.